Hey everybody. So I decided that I wanted to talk to all of you guys about one of my absolutely favorite new shows. And I originally heard about it from one of my favorite YouTubers on here. Her name's Sydney the Fangirl. I love her. I love her videos. We have all the same opinions. Anyway, so I watched her video, My Current Obsession, of this show, and it's on USA. It's called Eyewitness. It's amazing. And right after I watched her video, I only watched like half of the video and I went straight to watching the show. And there'd been about 6 episodes out of the 10 at the time when I started watching it. And I may or may not have binge watched it and watched all of them in a night. I may or may not have done that. And it was insane. I was obsessed with this show. So like from the minute it started to the minute I finished the 6th episode, it was like such a roller coaster ride. I could not stop watching it. It was just so amazing. Like the characters, the plot, everything. The acting, oh my god, like even if you've only seen 5 or 6 episodes, like you don't think that you're invested with the characters, and yet when something really, really big or really deep happens, like you feel it. Like it's so hard. Like, oh my god, I can't even. And luckily I was able to watch it straight through as the weeks were coming on, and all 10 episodes are pretty much perfection. Like if you start it, make sure you're able to binge watch it, because when you start it, you're going to want to finish it. There's only 10 episodes in the first season. It's not hard to watch. And we're not going to know until the end of January if it's picked up for a second season, which is stupid. But hopefully it'll be picked up, and then we'll get a whole another season of Philip and Lucas together, because we need it. Like from the moment that they're on screen, which is the beginning of the pilot, you can't wait to see what's going to happen with their characters. So the point of the show is that these 2 guys are at a cabin and they're making out, fooling around, and a car drives up. They panic and they hide, and then all of a sudden these guys come in and there's a triple homicide. Like one guy just pulled out a gun and starts killing everybody. And he sees one of them, so they have to get out of there as fast as they possibly can. And Philip is like, we have to tell somebody. Philip's foster mom is like the sheriff of the town, and he's like, we have to tell her what's going on so that she can find the guy that did this. And Lucas is still kind of like unsure of if he doesn't want anyone to know that him and Philip were just making out, because he's still kind of like shy about it, insecure about it, freaking out about it. And so his response is, we can't tell anybody because nobody can know that I was here with you. And so essentially, had he not been like this, the whole show would have been done in about an episode instead of 10, but because he doesn't want anybody to know about him and Philip, it takes a whole season for the murder mystery to be solved. And in the beginning, like when you get past the first couple of episodes, you're kind of confused as to what the mystery is that we're waiting for, because, we know who the killer is. And you end up finding out all of the information like early on in the show because you saw it happen. It's more of you're really watching it to see when everybody else is going to figure out who the murderer is. And I mean, realistically, you should be watching it for Philip and Lucas's relationship, because it's so raw and real and intense, and the acting is just incredible that I could not stop watching this show. It's just so harsh and like real, and it's not sugar coated. Like Philip knows that he's gay and he's completely fine with it, and he wants to be with Lucas. Like that's just it, and he doesn't have a problem with it, and neither does anybody else. but because Lucas is so shy about it and kind of homophobic in the beginning for a while, which is kind of awkward for them, it makes it really hard for them to have any kind of relationship, because he'll, like, if he's around other people, he's a jerk to Philip, and he's just mean and cruel to him. And then the minute they're alone, he tries to be all sweet and act like nothing ever happened. And I really like that Philip doesn't put up with it. Like, he could just play along and be like, okay, when we're in public, you're going to be mean to me, and when we're not, when we're in private, we'll, be together, and it'll be like nothing happened. But I really like that for his character, he does not put up with that. And in the pilot, when Lucas wants to fool around with him, he's just like, no, you don't get to treat me like that and then expect this just because we're alone now. And I absolutely love that about his character, because yeah, he does care about Lucas a lot, but he's not going to do something that makes himself feel bad, or makes himself feel like he's lessening himself or he's not worth it in public. And I really love that about their characters. And at the end of episode 10, the final episode of the season, you do find out pretty much everything that they've been hinting at throughout the whole season, so it wasn't a big letdown. I really liked the finale. I thought all of the episodes were really, really good, and you learn so much information throughout the whole thing. And for people who don't just want to watch it for Philip and Lucas, which I don't understand, because that's why I watch it, there's a whole bunch of other storylines. There's a ton of other characters and a lot of other stuff going on, so it's not just based on a teen romance. It's a complete thriller. Like, you're always on the edge of your seat. You're not sure what's going to happen. You don't know what's going on, and it was really fun and really intense to watch. And I binge watch everything, so this wasn't a surprise for me, and the fact that there was such a short amount of episodes was amazing. So it was nice. I was like, oh yes, there's only 10 episodes. I can watch this in a day. And I did. And I can't wait for it to come out, because I want to buy it, and I want to keep promoting it, because I want more and more people to watch it so that it does get picked up for a season 2, because I cannot deal with the possibility that was the end of the show. Like, it's such a good show, and there's so much more to see from them. I really, really, really want it to keep going. And the actors do too, obviously, but it's just so good. And it didn't end badly. Like, it ended really well. It could have finished, like, it could be done just in case, but I don't know, I think there's a lot more to see. Like, there's so many angles and layers to all of these characters. One of my favorite relationships on the show is Philip and his birth mom. She's a druggie, and like throughout the entire season, you're waiting for her to go to rehab or get cleaned up, and like for him, because that's why he's living with Helen and Gabe in a foster home, because his mom legally can't take care of him. And he has such a strong relationship with her, and I really love seeing them together. It's a great relationship, and it's shown really real. It isn't like sugar-coated where, oh, he hates her because she's a druggie and she never took care of him. It's actually the opposite. Like, he loves her so much and wants her to get better because of she's his mom, And it's a really great relationship, and I love watching that, in addition to all of his other relationships, because he's great. And all the characters, they really have so many layers, and you learn new things about each of them in every episode, and it can be really intense. I will tell you, my absolute favorite scene that touched me the most, like emotionally, throughout the entire series is, I think it's in episode 5 or 6, I'm not positive. It's when Lucas and his dad come to Helen and Gabe's house for like a lunch type thing, or a dinner with Helen, Gabe, and Philip, and they're talking about how, spoiler alert to anybody that hasn't seen it, spoilers, how Philip lied about Lucas seeing the murders, which he didn't, and Philip apologizes and plays along with it, And then Lucas tells them that Philip made him steal from his dad to buy drugs. And the way he says it is so cruel, in my opinion. And the look on Philip's face when he says it is just so heartbreaking. And then Helen asks him if it's true, and he straight up looks down and then looks at Lucas and just says, yeah, sure, whatever Lucas says. And Lucas looks back at him with like this expression on his face, and he's so shocked and like slightly like has this face of, oh my god, I can't believe that you just agreed with me. I figured you would fight it, anything like that. And I genuinely cried during this scene because it was, I could completely imagine being in that exact same situation and how I would respond or how I would feel if the person that I cared about said something like that about me in front of people just to hurt me. It was such an emotional scene, and I absolutely loved it. It was done so well, and from like that moment on, I was like, yes, this show is amazing, and I can't imagine anybody that does not like it or doesn't want to watch it, because, I mean, even if people don't like gay relationships or don't like darker shows like that, it's just so good. And it can be so hard to find a show that has genuine writing and genuine acting and like together, and it's just so powerful. Absolutely in love with it. I think that's it. There's probably a lot more to say about the show, but I didn't really want to talk about every episode because that would take a lot of videos. I just kind of wanted to give a basic overview of my opinion of the show. It's on USA, so if you get DirecTV or any of those other ways to watch television, you can watch it on USA, the app or the network, any of that. It's also, all the episodes are also on YouTube. The full episodes are on YouTube, and that's another way that I watched it. So if you have a chance to watch it, you should so go watch it. I don't know anybody else that watches this show, and it's been so hard not to talk about it with anyone because nobody understands. Like, it's so intense. I need people to talk to. So please like this video, subscribe, and leave comments below. Tell me everything you think about the show. Tell me your favorite character. Tell me how you felt during all of these scenes. The finale, tell me what you thought of the finale, because I heard some people didn't like it as much. I thought it was fantastic. And just anything you want to say. Tell me everything. I want to hear it all, because I need people to converse with me about this show. Okay. Done. I will see you all in my next video when I talk about another show, probably just as passionately. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.